mortal danger. I want to be very clear. I believe the Palestinians do bear significant blame for the failure to achieve the two-state solution that would allow Israel to remain a democratic Jewish state. The Palestinians have badly undermined their cause through the terrorism that I call in my book grotesque and unforgivable. There is a troubling Palestinian tendency to deny the historic connection between the Jewish people and the land of Israel. And as I say in my book, there are real questions about whether Palestinian leaders will make the compromises, especially on the right of refugee return, necessary for a two-state solution. But even if I conceded every nasty thing that anyone could ever say about the Palestinians, it is not the Palestinians who are essentially paying Israelis to move into the West Bank. It is this Israeli government that has reversed its predecessor and made much of the West Bank a national priority zone eligible for special government subsidies. A few months ago, a report in the business supplement of the Israeli newspaper Ma'ariv noted that the settlements receive 70% more money per capita than do Israeli cities and towns inside the Green Line, and that the most heavily subsidized municipality in the state of Israel is the settlement in Hebron, which receives 7 times as much money per person as does the large, poor, historically Mizrahi development town of Beersheba in the Negev. It is this Israeli government that in April legalized 3 West Bank outposts that had been illegal even under Israeli law. And earlier this year, the former director of Shin Bet, Israel's internal security service from this Israeli government, Yuval Diskin, said, and I quote, "Forget all about the stories they're selling you in the media about how we want to talk, but Mahmoud Abbas won't. I'm telling you, we're not talking with the Palestinians because this government has no interest in talking with the Palestinians. This government has no interest in resolving anything with the Palestinians. I know from up close." So it's not enough to say that Israel will get a handle on settlement growth when the Palestinians finally decide to live in peace in a two-state solution. Because by supporting settlement growth, you're pushing Palestinians in exactly the direction we don't want them to go. Every time Israel subsidizes more Israelis to move to the West Bank, we make those Palestinian leaders who will reluctantly, I underscore reluctantly, accept Israel's right to exist and who are today cooperating against terrorism, as Israel's own defense officials say that Mahmoud Abbas and Salam Fayyad are, we make them look like fools. And every time Israel makes it harder to build a viable Palestinian state, we make Hezbollah and Hamas stronger. We don't know whether Palestinians will ultimately make the concessions on the right of refugee return necessary to allow a two-state solution to come to pass. But we can be darn sure they won't make those concessions if they won't even get a viable, contiguous Palestinian state in return. So even if you don't believe that a Palestinian state is possible tomorrow, you have, in my opinion, an obligation to try to stop the settlement subsidies that will soon foreclose the possibility of a Palestinian state ever. Because when you destroy the two-state solution, you give Israel's enemies the capacity to do politically what they have been unable to do, thank God, militarily, destroy Israel as a Jewish state. Zionism at its core is about giving Jews control